Lewis Hamilton is of course one of the greatest F1 drivers of all time, and with it comes his strive to perfect every aspect of his racecraft. And that doesn't stop only in actual race situations, it actually involves the race start, and this is what this video is all about. Now, for all of you really eagle-eyed viewers, for many of the season now, you will have noticed Hamilton has a very unique system that he incorporates into his race start procedure, one that no one else has on the entire grid. And there's a reason behind it. And what this video is about is unraveling this mystery. Where did this procedure, this unique system that he's created start from? Why did he create it, and what are the results and effects of introducing this into his race start procedure? Now, to unravel the mystery of where this all began, we have to go all the way back nearly a decade ago to 2016, at the beginning of his initial thought process behind this new unique system that he uses. And to unravel this mystery, we have to go back to the 2016 Formula 1 season, the one through which his teammate Nico Rosberg won his only World Drivers' Championship. Now, of course, there was many mechanical failures and other DNFs throughout the season, but there was one aspect of that season through which he always struggled, and that was his race starts. Hamilton could be seen through numerous race starts lose multiple positions, even having taken pole position. Now, this is when Hamilton started to understand there was a weakness not only within the Mercedes start system on the car, but also the rate in which he went about his own operational side of race starts. And with the competitive nature that Hamilton, of course, has ingrained into him, he went about looking at ways through which he could help improve the situation for himself, both from an internal aspect with himself, but also externally. And of course, that would of course lead him to his Mercedes steering wheel. And for the 2017 season, the Mercedes had listened to Hamilton and made changes to his specific steering wheel. And what we're talking about here is the actual clutch on his Mercedes wheel. Now, this was something that they made changes from 2016 to into 2017. And essentially what the team did was make sure at the top of the steering wheel there was one singular paddle at the top, which was the gear shift up and the gear shift down. And this is the origin story of why Hamilton has his hand on the top left hand side of his steering wheel at the start of a race. Now, alongside this particular change on the steering wheel, of course, is a change to the clutch system on it. And this was a lot lower down, and Hamilton used the clutch system on the right hand side of his steering wheel. And they introduced what was almost like a miniature compartment to put his hands in. And this would help him with the feeling of the clutch and where to, position it and so on and so forth. And this, of course, began in 2017, but it wasn't one through which he used throughout the entire season. But in 2019 and 2020 most notably, he had then fully gone down the avenue of utilizing this method to do all of his race starts. And essentially what having his hand on the top left hand corner of his steering wheel was doing was making sure for his race starts he wouldn't accidentally potentially downshift a gear on that race start situation. And not only that, it of course helps him have a handle on making sure the steering wheel itself wasn't moving too much as well, say under traction or a break of traction in that initial phase of a race start situation. So it's a very unique and interesting style for which Hamilton had thought about throughout 2016, gone to Mercedes to incorporate into his steering wheel design, and of course this technique with his hand on the left hand side of the steering wheel. And he used this for great effect. And if we actually look at his record of race starts in terms of positions gained from 2020 all the way to last season in 2024, he always has a positive correlation with regarding race start situations. He would always gain places of the start of the grid. Now, of course, you could counter argue that by saying, well, that would be the case because he was qualifying lower than the car should be. And while yes, that is true, and that does help you gain race positions at the start of a race, it doesn't actually equate to you having good race starts. You could be qualifying beneath the actual ceiling of performance with your car, but then you can still be going backwards at the start of a race if you haven't, figured it out and sorted it out. And so I wouldn't use that as an argument to say, well, yeah, of course he's not. Well, yeah, of course he's gaining positions because he's starting lower than he should. That isn't actually something that is very much a plausible thing here. If Hamilton was still using the system he probably was using in 2016, he would be losing positions as well to this day. And this is one of the amazing things about Formula One drivers and the competitive nature of them. They're always looking for self-contemplation within themselves. They're always looking to better their abilities, no matter where it is, in racecraft, in race pace, in qualifying pace, in wheel-to-wheel situations. And of course, Hamilton had taken that a step further and brought it to race start situations. And that really epitomizes Hamilton to me, outside of his natural abilities and his superior race pace that he has over all of his teammates to this day, I will have you know. It's his ability to look outside of racing situations. I don't think any driver has put into detail race starts through which Hamilton has in his manner of coming up with such a unique start process. And I think that is one of the things that helps him get better and better each season. He's striving to find ways through which he can improve himself. And it's why he's still at the top of his game. Yes, you can say he maybe is not being fantastic in qualifying through 2024, but I think there are reasons outside of his control for that, particularly with just this ground effect error. I don't think this ground effect error suits his driving style. But anyway, those are the origins and the results through which Hamilton has had a positive effect on his race start procedures. And I hope you've all enjoyed this video and it's been informative to you all. This will be a series across the season that I think I will do if this video is successful. So if you have enjoyed it, do leave a like on the video and leave comments down below regarding it, of course. And I am going to wrap things up here. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, do of course leave a like as I've just said. If you're new and have enjoyed the content, do hit the subscribe button as well and turn on notifications for all future Formula One content, particularly with Hamilton's first time driving a Ferrari car in about 2 weeks' time on this very day. Alright guys, I will catch you all with another Formula One video very soon.